Hey guys, here we are going to find the mode of the set of numbers given. Mode, M-O-D-E, is the number that appears most. So what we're going to do is simply look at the data that's given above and find the number that repeats the majority of the time compared to any other number. Now, it is possible to have multiple modes, but we'll talk about that in the other question. So let's go ahead and look at the numbers that we have. Some people would sometimes write it in order as far as from least to greatest, and that would help. But I'm going to go ahead and just count the amount of times I see each number. So the first number is 2. And I see 2 repeated once in this data set. The next number is 15, which is repeated 1, 2, 3 times in this data set. The number 7 is repeated 1, 2, so twice. Now we can skip over to 21 since we've already accounted for 15 and 7. 21 is repeated once. 10 is repeated once. 13 is repeated once. And we're going to skip 15 because we already accounted for it earlier and go to 4, which is repeated once, and finally 3, which is repeated once. So what we can take note of is the fact that the number that is repeated most in our data set is the number 15. So what does that mean? Well, that means that the mode of this set of numbers is going to be 15. It is the number that appears most in the set of numbers. Let's take a look at another example. Here is another way in which you can be asked to find the mode of a set of numbers. Now, this isn't a table format, but it's not more complicated. You just have to know how to read the table that you're given. So above in the first row, it's labeled marks. So pretty much what that is telling you is those are the marks that are available. I can either get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. The frequency is telling us how many people got a particular mark. So let's take a look at the second column, which is here. This is telling me that based on the class that I have, 7 people got a mark of 1. In other words, I have 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looking at the third column, this is telling me that 9 people got a mark of 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on and so forth. So therefore, when I want to know what is the mode or what number is repeated most, I need to look at what is the highest frequency. What is the highest number in the row labeled frequency? Well, if I take a look at that, I'm going to go ahead and erase some of this for now. If I take a look at the frequency, the number or the highest frequency is 11. And I see 11 repeated twice. So what that means is 11 students got a mark of 3 and 11 students got a mark of 5. So therefore, our mode in this example, our mode is going to be 3 and 5. So what that then makes you want to ask is, can I have multiple modes? And I kind of alluded to it in the first question. Yes, you can have multiple modes. However, if every number is repeated the same amount of times, then that's an example of having no mode. For example, if I'm given the data set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm asked to find the mode, each number is repeated the same amount of times. So therefore, in this example, there is no mode. So in conclusion, you can have multiple modes, but you cannot have a situation where every number is the mode. In that example, you would have to say there is no mode.